given you ample time to respond. I'll also bring in Mr. Grover. Mr. Grover, we've seen the Hanuman Chalisa issue, of course, was a big talking point before the Karnataka Assembly elections. The Prime Minister raking this up once again ahead of the southern part of the state, of course, going into polling. How much of an impact does it have on the minds of the voters, do you feel? Considering a series of events that have taken place in the last few months, do you feel that politically, of course, this will remain in the minds of the people?
Well, see, Deepak, I just want to put things on record. If you remember, Uday Garudachar, who was the member of Legislative Assembly from Chikpet area, he had gone on record and clarified that the shopkeeper who was beaten up was not playing Hanuman Chalisa, and that, the issue had taken a communal color, and he believes in communal harmony and had, diffused the tension which had become a talking point at that time with Tejasvi Surya and Shubha.
What happened then, while the MLA, of course, said that, while some of the Congress leaders said that, in the FIR, of course, didn't mention Hanuman Chalisa in the beginning. So later, the victim came on record and he said it happened.
Yeah. The incident did happen, but the fact that
the victim also came on record and he spoke to multiple media channels and he said that he was playing the Hanuman Chalisa. That's where the issue also came up.
Yeah. So this is something where I'm talking about the BJP, which is raking up this issue again. The Prime Minister talking about it today. So who do we believe? The MLA of the constituency who went on record, or the Prime Minister who once again touched this point of view? Now, let's look at, the series of incidents which have happened also in the last week, be it the Neha Hiremat murder, or be it the Ruxana murder, or be it the Bakale family killings, where 4 people were killed in Cuttack. Now, this entire thing, somewhere down the line, we've seen a communal color being given to this kind of, crimes. These are crimes which are not communal in nature, but, crimes of passion or crimes of, revenge, which have been distorted in that way that, only selectively it has been picked up by the opposition and being raked up. What appalls me the most is also the fact that, we are seeing this campaigning going on for such a long time. Bengaluru today, especially the city, is suffering from several issues: the heat wave, the water crisis, traffic jams. None of the political parties or the candidates have come up and, spoken about the issues that concern you, me, and the common citizens. They are only looking at, how to split the vote in terms of community, caste, religion. That's something which is, really shocks us that, politicians are not looking at the grave crisis that Bangalore city or Karnataka is facing today, be it the devolution or the other things.
Well, interesting that you say that, Grover. We, of course, do hope that, the country reaches a scenario where the only political discourse is based on development, is based on improving the country, is based on all of this. But, during elections, such things do come up time and again, and we've seen that in the past. Now, we, of course, cannot control what our politicians are saying, but the question here is, of course, the people have the choice to decide. But what I was also asking Mr. Prasad, I'm going to go back to Dr. Patel and ask, how much of an impact are such statements, such incidents going to leave on the minds of the voters? And in turn, how is it going to really have a bearing on the results as well?
Firstly, if we look at the history of Karnataka, we've seen that Pradhan Mantri take a Bajrang Bali statement and they lost Karnataka from Congress. So now if we see, nothing is going to impact the people of Karnataka, especially the entire country, because they have heard this continuously, and now they are not interested in all this religious talk or some communal talk, because people know that their basic needs are food, water, jobs and all these things. And now when we look at how the campaigning is going on, I think Election Commission of India, which is in charge of the entire election, must be able to bifurcate about the hate speeches and what are the good speeches for the people of country. But over here, as what action taken on Surjewala, I think he was banned for 48 hours for some derogative statement on Hema Malini. So election commission role is important in this case, but people of the country had understand their basic problem. And I think now this kind of speeches are not going to make any effect or anything on the mindset of the people, because their basic needs are not being satisfied. As what my panelist growers are saying, that what are the need of the people right now, that is not being spoken by any politician, and that is what the level of politics had gone down in our country. As a political analyst, I feel that every political
But
party,
Dr.
even
Patel, the question
especially
here is, there is a narrative that every political party comes out with. The BJP has coming out with one narrative. The Congress today is protesting, saying, well, the center has betrayed the farmers, not done enough for Karnataka. That is the narrative that they are coming up with. Now, during all these narratives, it's important politically to counter these narratives as well, because at the end of the day, each narrative, puts one party at an advantage, the other party at a disadvantage probably. So, the question here is, this narrative that's being said, has the Congress really failed to counter it in the right manner? With multiple instances where the BJP keeps saying that, well, it is appeasement of the Congress that's leading to such incidents repeatedly happening. Sometimes the defense that comes in from some of the leaders of the Congress party, even while matters are, being investigated or at a very preliminary stage. So, are you giving into the BJP narrative or playing into their hands is the question?
No, Deepak, see,
to
Deepak,
me,
the question
No,
is,
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you,
unfortunately-
Mr. Prasad. That was for Mr. Patel. I'll come back to you.
okay.
I'll come
Yeah.
back to you, Mr. Prasad. Just a moment. Dr. Patel.
See, now when we see since last 10 years, and if we see how this BJP government came into power and how appeasement politics is being charged on Congress is also replying to it. But again, if we see the highest stretcher of our constitution, Pradhan Mantri in his speeches regularly come with this kind of things, then now people are thinking that now what is all these things? We are interested in this. We are interested in what is about what is happened about our gas, what had happened about petrol, diesel prices, what will be future of our sons who are new education policy, what will be the implication. These things are not coming into the fray, and that is why I don't think that people will be affected by such kind of regional political statements, and definitely people will look beyond it, and the country will vote for their own needs and problems rather than going into the politics of communalism and religion and all these things.
Okay, Mr. Prasad, come in.
Deepak,
Mr. Prasad? Mr. Prasad, if you can hear me, I want you to come in and respond.
no, Deepak, I lost you for a couple of seconds. Can you repeat the question?
I want you to counter what Mr. Patel was saying, that this sort of narrative will not really reflect on the minds of the people. They even said that earlier, such narratives came in during the assembly elections, it failed. And of course, the charge always that has come in against the BJP of attempting to really disrupt harmony, polarize ahead of the elections.
No. See, Deepak, it is unfortunate that the other two panelists, they are not talking anything about the law and order situation in Karnataka. If BJP talks about the Bajrang Bali, they immediately shift their goalpost and talk about NEP, gas, cylinder, education policy, all other things. But they don't talk about the Kali politics, the abuse politics, what Congress started. They don't talk about when Congress say Yamraj, Sadaka Gunda, Ravan, Vishusarpa, all those things. See, these people, that means they are towing the line of the Congress. See, we are going to the polls. Whether at the national level or at the state level. We are going to the polls based on the 10 years development what Modi has given to this country. We are going. See, that is our strong USP. But that does not mean. When someone is targeted, let's say Hindus are targeted, we take it low lying. Who are going to talk for them? Who are going to stand up for them? At the same time, when we talk about the development, we also make sure that when Hindus are targeted, we also take up that issue very strongly and we oppose that. It is the Congress ideology to make sure that when they are staring at the defeat,